Until recently, retirement was seen as an on-off switch for your career. Around age 65, you flicked the switch off, filed for Social Security, and headed to play shuffleboard at a condo somewhere in the sunshine. That old idea of retirement is beginning to change to include something called flextirement, which allows workers to transition from full-time to part-time work as they ease into full retirement. The reason is that there's a big demographic shift going on in the United States that has employers looking at a growing shortage of experienced workers. The shortage of workers in the United States grew out of the pandemic, partly because there were about 2.6 million more workers who retired, on top of the normal projected level of retirements. The US is now hitting peak 65, with more than 4.1 million baby boomers retiring each year between now and 2027. Beyond the simple mathematical shortage of having too few people to fill all the required jobs, is that many of these retiring workers are the most experienced, skilled, and knowledgeable people in the workplace. That's a brain drain that causes even more problems for employers. Those worries are starting to push employers to rethink retirement, with one option being flextirement. In flextirement, the employee's salary and benefits, health insurance, 401k, and the like, continue on a prorated basis, depending on how many hours or days the person is working. So if you're working 2 days a week instead of 5, that's 40%, and your employer would cover 40% of your benefits. Your duties and responsibilities are reduced, creating less stress and more time off. If flextirement sounds like something else you've heard about, you're right. A retirement option called phased retirement has been offered by some employers for several years now. In 2012, for example, Congress passed the Moving Ahead for Progress in the 21st Century Act, which created a phased retirement option for some federal and civil service workers. Many older workers like the idea of flextirement. The U.S. Government Accountability Office found that among workers 61 to 66, 29% wanted to transition to retirement by reducing their hours, but less than 15% later reported they were able to make it happen. Instead of a selective, informal program, proponents of flextirement want it offered to all of a company's older employees so they can approach their managers about transitioning into retirement. Another reason workers like the idea of flextirement is that many don't have adequate retirement savings. Flextirement would allow them to continue earning money that can bolster their retirement accounts. But some flextirement backers say it's unlikely to happen for most workers. Employers will want to stick to the current all-or-nothing retirement procedures until there's enough disruption of the labor force to prompt a change. The most likely employers to consider flextirement will be smaller firms that can't afford to completely lose experienced engineers, accountants, and workers in creative services. A recent report from the World Economic Forum cited one company that is offering flextirement. The insurance giant Swiss Re has created a formal program called Flex 58+, where employees can reduce their hours, then become advisors to the company after they start full retirement. But that's an exception. To gain wider acceptance, employers will need to see flextirement as a solution to labor force and skills shortages. Until then, flextirement is an idea whose time will come, but only if employers show a little flexibility of their own. And if you want more content like this from MarketWatch and the Explainomics playlist, please subscribe and keep checking back for new videos. And we'll see you next time.